work? What's your view? Because that's the debate we're going to be having here. We're already having it, but we'll certainly have it more over the next few weeks.
There are two things we can do, in my view, to avoid the lockdowns. First is universal mask wearing. There was a study out by the University of California, San Francisco, that said if you wear a mask, chances are you won't get coronavirus. And even if you get coronavirus, it reduces the inoculum, so you'd probably be asymptomatic. So we have to get the word out that wearing masks is in people's self-interest. Second, why aren't we doing contact tracing? Apple and Google in my district invented the app that allows effective contact tracing. Ireland has used it effectively. Germany has used it. All these other countries are using it. We're not using it. If we do those two things, I think we would severely avoid the need for another lockdown.
So are you against this proposal, this 4 to 6 week national lockdown to get the virus under control, have the government pay the lost wages? Are you against that, or do you think there's some merit to it?
I think it's premature. I mean, if it really comes, if that's the last resort, but I think there are other measures we could take. And I think we ought to have a stimulus in any case. I mean, there are people whose wages have been hurt and their small businesses have been hurt. So I think we need a large stimulus. But I believe with mask wearing and contact tracing, and the upcoming vaccine, we can get this under control.
Speaking of stimulus, was that a mistake now, the way things have worked out in the election for Nancy Pelosi to not get a deal done, get the deal done she could have gotten done before the election?
Well, you know, I said that we should do a deal. I was on the record saying that. I thought we should have done a deal around 1.8, 1.9 trillion. But you have to remember, Majority Leader McConnell wasn't willing to do anything. I mean, he was there with $500 billion. Had he come on board with the president and Mnuchin's package, I think a deal would have been done.
All right. Let me ask you one more thing while we have you here, and that's about the incoming administration and how it's taking form. There's, I know, a debate inside your Democratic Party about President-elect Biden and whether he should be more progressive, more centrist. I mean, as you see the way it's taking shape, is it too centrist for your liking? Is it about right? What do you make of how the transition is coming along so far?
You know, I think all these labels don't mean as much as what we need is an economic populist. I mean, Steve Hilton, actually, at Fox News talks about economic populism. We need a president who's going to talk about job creation in places left behind, who's going to talk about raising wages, including a minimum wage raise for workers who've been left out. I think our party needs to be the party of economic populism, and I think that will cut across a lot of these political divides.